So today, this video, I'm going to share my strategy, the three-part framework to turn followers into paying clients. See, I used to be completely obsessed with my follower count. I mean, if it was 10 or 100 or 1,000, I'd be celebrating each one of them, and I'd be sitting there watching, kind of, hey, did it go up? Yeah, it ticked up. Okay. I honestly thought that that was the sign of a successful business. I mean, who doesn't like a follower? But then I'd look at my bank account and yeah, crickets. It was empty. I was trapped in this soul-crushing cycle. Create the content, get it published, get that temporary high from likes and comments, and then I'd feel that pit in my stomach when none of it, I mean literally none of it, turned into actual clients or money. I was doing social media all wrong here. And the advice I heard was, hey, you got to post more, be more consistent. Your next video could go viral. But that just pushed me straight to burnout. I was like, the classic hamster wheel, right? Running faster and faster just to stay in the exact same spot. Sure, I was visible, but I wasn't valuable to the people in the audience that would actually pay for what I know. So in this video, as I said, I'm going to share the simple 3-step trust building framework that changed everything for me, and hopefully it will for you too. This is the strategy that turned my casual followers into high-paying clients without ever feeling like I had to be salesy or cheesy like that. See, this is how you stop chasing vanity metrics and start building a real profitable business. So let's be real for a second. The obsession with followers, it is a trap, because when your only goal is to get more followers, you start making content that's, broad and generic. I've been caught in this myself, even on this channel, and it's kind of boring. It's designed to appeal to everyone, but when you appeal to everyone, you truly connect with no one. You've heard this before. You end up with an audience of passive viewers and freebie seekers who will happily consume your free content all day long, but will never buy from you. There's this infamous story about an Instagram creator named Ari, 2 eyes, who had over 2 million followers. And she tried to launch a t-shirt line, and she couldn't even sell 35 or 30, not even 50 shirts. And that is a classic visibility trap in action. All the eyes on you, but nobody's actually invested. And that mistake is treating your audience like a number to be grown. Instead of a room full of people you want to build a relationship with. The key to turning viewers into clients isn't some complex sales funnel or aggressive marketing. It's trust building. See, trust now, especially in these days, it's the single most important currency that you have. But you don't build it overnight. This is not an overnight engine. It's a slow burn. You can think about it like making a real friend. You wouldn't meet somebody at a party and then immediately ask them to help you move next weekend. You'd find common ground. You'd have a few beers or drinks, have some conversations, hang out, and you would share and show them who you are, asking them about themselves. And you'd offer some kind of value, even if it's just a good laugh or a new perspective or a few different ideas. So over time, that builds trust. And then when you finally do have an ask, they're happy to help, right? Your online relationships are no different. You have to give and give and give. This is jab, 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 hook, right? And long before you ever ask for the sale, this is what you do. You give, give, give. So my own aha moment came several years ago when I stopped obsessing over my analytics, even though I love analytics, and actually started reading my comments. And I saw a really thoughtful question from a viewer one time, and I spent a good 15-20 minutes writing a detailed, genuinely I thought, helpful response. And sure enough, that person replied, thanked me, and a week later, they booked a call. We work in the high ticket space, so that's what we mean by booked a call. That one single genuine interaction was worth more than the 10,000 passive views I got on some trendy video, I think that week before. So anyway, that's when I knew I was playing the total wrong game here. The goal isn't fame, it's impact and income. So you don't need 1 million followers. It's not uncommon to hear stories of creators earning 6-figure incomes with fewer than 1,000 true fans. We talk a lot about the 1,000 true fans, but some reports even mention people making 50,000 a month with under 1,000 subscribers, because every single one of those subscribers is the right person. This isn't about becoming a celebrity. It's more about becoming the go-to expert for a small dedicated group of people. And when you do that, you don't have to chase clients anymore. Guess what happens? They come to you. I work in the high ticket space, as I mentioned. You know, a few key clients bring about a lot of revenue for me and for us. So how do you actually do this? How do you go from being just another face in the feed to a trusted authority? You want to grow from nothing to a trusted authority. This all comes down to a simple 3-step framework. That's what I mentioned at the top. This is the exact system that took my business from 0 revenue to a steady stream, of high ticket paying clients. Step 1, define your who and your what with micro niche precision. The biggest mistake I see creators make is being way too broad. Somebody just told me that I help people live healthier lives is a nice thought, but it's not a business. I help burned out corporate lawyers over 40 regain their energy through a non-restrictive diet. Now that is a business angle. The riches are in the niches, but you have to go deeper. You need to get hyper-specific, hyper-targeted. This isn't just about picking a topic. It's about identifying a specific person, their biggest pain point, and the unique way that you solve it. I talk about that in a couple of videos back. One marketer I follow, he calls it the Xanax test. What's the one problem that keeps your ideal customer or client up at night? The thing that gives them the most anxiety, that you can solve. That's the heart of your content. So you have to know who you're talking to, enter their mind. What's their job? What are their daily frustrations? What words do they use to describe their problems? You need to answer the questions they're asking right before they're ready to buy. See, a financial advisor's ideal client isn't searching for, what is a Roth IRA? That's too early in the funnel. They're searching for how to retire 5 years early as a software engineer, let's say. Now you can see the difference here. One is a generic info, the other is a very specific problem for a specific person. This specificity is also tied directly to how much you can earn. Niches like personal finance, business, and tech, health, fitness, they consistently have the highest CPMs. I mean, the advertisers then are paying more to reach that audience. The payback is higher though. So some of those niches can command CPMs, 20 to 50, 60 and above, right? The real money isn't in the ads. It's solving a high value problem for an audience that has the money and the motivation to pay for a solution. So I want you to ask yourself 3 questions, and you can pause this video if you need to. Number 1, who specifically do I serve? You want to get detailed on this. Number 2, what is their single biggest, most urgent frustration? And 3, How do I solve that problem in a way that's totally unique to me? That's the differentiation. If you want to drop a comment below with your micro niche, I'd love to see what you come up with. And hey, I respond to all of the comments myself, and I'll respond to as many as I can. The channel here is growing, but I just want to make sure you get this right, because this is the foundation for everything. All right, so that was step one. We're getting through it. Step two, the consistent value engine. This is your content strategy. Once you know exactly who you're talking to, well, it's time to build your content engine. And this isn't about posting randomly or just shouting about your services and, setting up automation to post everywhere. That's the fastest way to get ignored. And I've tried it, as I mentioned before. You need a strategic approach designed to build trust piece by piece. You probably heard of the 80-20 rule. 80% of your content gives pure value and 20% is promotional. We might even do 90-10 here. I mostly agree, but these things are more nuanced. Your value content shouldn't just be a bunch of, random tips. It should take your viewer on a journey. You can build out your funnel this way as well. Your content needs to meet people where they are and guide them from being just, problem aware, like I feel so stuck, to be solution aware. Wow, a system like that could really help me. And finally, to being product aware. Your specific program or service or product, that's exactly what I need. Breakthrough Advertising, that book is something you should get, by the way, talk about this. So to pull this off, you need to create 3 types of content that work together. First, it's empathy content. This is where you look your audience in the eye and say, you know what? I see you. I get it. And you share your own stories, your past failures. That's a big one. And the struggles that you have overcome. Maybe you came through a specific formula that you developed from your own struggles. This shows you that you're not some guru on a mountaintop. You're someone who was once right where they are. And this could be 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Think about that. It builds a powerful personal connection. Second, authority content. This is where you prove you have the answer. These are your deep dive tutorials, your case studies, your step-by-step guides, custom downloads, freebies. And through this, you're demonstrating your expertise and proving, well, hey, you know your stuff. This is where you go from being a relatable person to a trusted authority. That is key. And third, demonstration content. This is where you show the solution in action. It could be behind the scenes footage of something that you're doing working with a client. Could be a walkthrough of a template that you use, or showing how you integrate a product into your workflow, into a real workflow. And these makes the results that you promise feel super tangible and real. So when you create content with this mix, you're not just posting a video, you're building an evergreen asset for your business. One of the best things about YouTube is that a video you make today can keep bringing your clients for years. I know one creator who still gets about 10 new client leads every single week from videos he posted a decade ago. Think about that. That's powerful. So, your content isn't just about a fleeting post. It's a long-term automated lead machine that works for you 24/7 for free. All right, that was step 2. Now we're getting to step 3. That's 4. 3, the conversion pathway. So this is now guiding you to a yes. This is the final piece of the puzzle, as it were. And this is where so many people drop the ball. You can have the perfect niche and the most valuable content, but if you don't have a clear, easy path for a viewer to become a client, well, you'll just have a loyal audience that never pays you. You need to nudge them. You need to call it out. Sure, they love you, but their wallets will still stay shut. You need wallet out, people. So you need to create a simple, logical journey for them. And we don't really want to call it a sales funnel, even though that's probably what it is. But it sounds kind of corporate and cheesy and gross. But think of it as a guided journey. You're not pushing them, you're leading them to the next logical step. So here's what that looks like. First, your free YouTube content. That's the handshake. It's where you first meet and you get a taste of the value you provide. It's not a business card yet, right? This is free value. Second, at the end of your videos, you have a call to action that leads to the bridge. And the bridge is your lead magnet, a super valuable freebie. You offer that in exchange for their email address. Getting the name and email address, your most valuable asset. This could be a detailed PDF guide, could be a checklist, a private workshop, webinar, whatever. This is my first tiny yes. This is where you're basically saying, hey, I'm serious about solving this problem for you. Here is your call to action. And it should always point to the bridge, or almost always. And third is the conversation, which happens over email. The inbox is way more intimate and direct than the YouTube comments. Plus, you have a personal relationship built. And here you keep providing value. But you can also be more direct about your paid offers. You can run surveys. You can share client stories. You can announce when you have openings, special offers, as I said, and have more personal conversations. Finally, you make the invitation. This is your clear, unapologetic offer. It's the link to book a discovery call, a strategy call, whatever you want to call that, and the button to buy your course or sign up for your community. Or maybe it's a paid page to just simply join a membership. By the time someone gets to the invitation, the sale is 90% made. So you're not being salesy, you're being helpful. You've earned their trust, you have proven your expertise, and given them a taste of the results you can deliver. So the invitation to work with you feels like more of a natural next step. It's not pushy, as I said. No shenanigans here. In fact, research shows that consumers, and specifically clients in the high-ticket space, are more likely to buy when a creator has clearly positioned their product as the solution to a specific need. This pathway does exactly that. It is key, guys and girls. So, here we go. I can already hear some of you thinking, this sounds great, but I only have 200 followers. How can I make money? Well, this is the best part of the trust building framework. You do not need a big audience to make a significant income. In fact, for experts with small, dedicated followings, I would say focusing on high-ticket services is the fastest way to get there. Your first offer should not be a $27 ebook. It should almost always be service-based and high-ticket. And I'm talking about coaching, consulting, or DFY, done for you service. Because you're selling a transformation and your personal experience, you can charge premium prices for this. Anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000, $15,000, $50,000 or more for a package. You only need a couple of these clients per month to build a six-figure business. And there are tons of stories of creators landing their first $1,000 or $5,000 client with fewer than 200 or 300 subscribers, all because they attracted the right person. And guess what? They built trust the right way. Then, as your audience and authority grow, well, you can add more scalable offers. This could be a group coaching program, a paid community charging, starting with low $20, maybe $200 to $300 a month, or your signature digital course. It's a signature course is a great way to go. These models let you serve more people at once, and they start to separate your time from your income. And also, don't forget brand partnerships. People think you need hundreds of thousands of subscribers to get sponsorships, but that's a myth. Because brands are desperate to find micro-influencers with highly engaged niche type of audiences. And they know a recommendation from a trusted expert in a small community. Well, it's often a way to create a more powerful connection than a shout out from a huge generic influencer, as you have learned here. And there are examples of creators generating millions now in brand sponsorships by focusing on very specialized audiences, proving that quality of your audience is so much more important than the quantity. I think I have belabored this point, but it's an important one. So the point is there's a clear path to monetization that works at every stage. You want to start with a high-ticket service. You want to let that income fund your growth as you expand into more scalable offers later on. This is the model, guys. You need to follow this model. So, to recap, the whole strategy is just 3 steps. Micro niche precision, know exactly who you serve and what painful problem you solve. The consistent value engine, and that's where you create content that builds empathy, proves your authority, and shows results. That's a great way to show case studies. The conversion pathway. This is where you build a simple journey to guide your best viewers from your free content to your paid offers. And this is the framework that lets you stop chasing empty metrics like followers and views and start building a real sustainable business, doing what you love. Now, if you want to really nail step 3, the conversion pathway, I put together a free guide for you, and you can get it below. It's called the Client Conversion Blueprint, part of the Client Conversion Academy, and it shows you exactly how to create a lead magnet that people actually want and how to set up a simple system that turns viewers into booked calls. So if that's you, the link is below and you can access it there, and I will give it to you. But before you go, do me a favor. Leave a comment and tell me the number 1 thing that you're taking away from this video. Is it a mindset shift? Was it the idea of micro-niching? Was it the conversion pathway? Or was it just the idea of, hey, I need to build trust? I mean, I read every single comment here, and I would love to know what hit home for you. And so to really bring it home, you don't need 1 million followers. You just need to become the most trusted resource for 100 of the right people. Start building that trust today. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.